Alright, what's good, y'all? Solo here, and welcome back to my story mode. So I'm gonna say now that I apologize because this video right here was supposed to come out a lot sooner, but fighting allergies and things like that kinda kept me moving a little slower. So now that we're all back in business, we're good to go, we're rocking with it. So for those of you who don't know, about last week or so, I asked you guys if Pokemon Legends Arceus lived up to the hype. We got a surprising amount of very good responses, and I'm looking forward to reading them all with you. Now before we get started here, two things to note. A lot of these responses may feel probably a little outdated, especially for the people that wrote the responses, because at the time that I'm recording this, it's about a week later, so I'm sure that a lot of you by now have finished the game and things like that, but, you know, just saying, keep your eyes out for things that may seem a little off. The next thing is, I have now at this point in time officially replayed through the game and gotten all of the footage that I need for the review, so keep an eye out for that very soon. I'm looking very forward to talking in depth about everything that this game had to offer with you guys. I'm really looking forward to it. So that just about does it for the extra stuff, I'd say, right? Why don't we start going ahead and talking about your guys' opinions and responses to if Pokemon Legends Arceus lived up to the hype. We're gonna go ahead and start off here with Anaka Waikru, who says, "It's fire." You make a very solid set of points there, Anaka, because it's very hard to argue the fact that Pokemon Legends Arceus isn't, in fact, fire. That was a good one. That was a real good one. Now really getting started, we have Newbie Norm, who says, "The bar has been set significantly higher in Legends Arceus. If Game Freak believes in building upon existing formulas, then the old games peaked long ago. There's really only minor changes that would improve these games at this point, but if we build upon the Legends formula, we're going to the damn moon. Fix the graphics, expand the world, throw in some more features like, I don't know, multiplayer? Bro, imagine running around with your friends doing raid battles, exploring secret areas, or setting up 2v2s with the homies on top of a mountain. If Gen 9 brings back the traditional boring-ass, stale-ass, slow-ass, nostalgia-bait gameplay, well then, yeah, I'll probably still buy the game, but goddamn I'll be so disappointed that I'm sure it will be my last Pokemon game." It's funny that you mentioned this because I'm literally scripting this video right here as we speak, but I think it's okay to talk about it a little bit right now, because why not? Now, I'm positive that all of us are more than familiar with the term, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pokemon Company and Game Freak practically invented that very sentence. It's kind of hard to argue otherwise considering the fact that we have ran with the exact same formula in Pokemon for well over 20 years now. And you know, it's kind of funny when you think about it because that mindset doesn't really just apply to the games either. I know that this is a pretty bold statement, but I think that it's fair to say that a majority of the franchise is pretty stale at this point. Any game that wasn't a spin-off was a basic turn-based RPG for the last 20 years. The mainline anime series is just Ash doing dumb shit until eventually some kind of story happens for all of 5 minutes, and then it's back to the dumb stuff. Point of it is, there's a lot of higher-ups over there that clearly believe that as long as things stay mostly the same, they're good to go, and that is very problematic. I think that's precisely the reason why Pokemon Legends hit everybody so hard. It's so different, it's so unique, and it's baffling as to why they didn't think to do something like this yet. Pokemon Legends definitely has its fair share of problems, but it's so new that it's good. That's its primary thing. That's what it has going for it the most, is the fact that it's so new and so different that if we were to turn back at all, it would hurt the franchise in a very bad way for a lot of people. I love Pokemon as a franchise. I love the previous games, no matter how good or bad they were. It is what it is. They happened and I enjoyed my time with them. But if we were to turn back after making such a huge step in a different direction, I might go crazy. Generally speaking, if I wasn't a PokeTuber, I don't know if I would have it in me to even buy the next game if it went back to the traditional gameplay that we've known for the past 20 years. Every Pokemon game up to this point has definitely had potential to be a phenomenal, perfect entry. But I honestly don't know if anything has even come remotely close to what Legends has introduced to us. Potential-wise, I mean. This game is definitely far from perfect. Again, we'll dive into it later. The only way that I can keep my sanity is to fully believe with my whole heart that this was nothing more than a test run for the future of Pokemon. Because otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance for if I mess up your name. I'm super sorry, but I will do my best. Next up, we have Ramon Caheya, and they say, "It exceeded my expectations. I'm loving it and taking my time." That's a beautiful thing to hear, homie. I'm glad it exceeded your expectations because frankly, it did the same for me. Take your time, enjoy your time if you haven't finished it by now, because it definitely has been 6 days since you have commented, so hopefully you're still taking your time or just generally enjoying the game. I hope it's fire for you. Moving along here, we have MFLJ who says, "When I saw Baneri hopping around in the forest alongside a sleeping Psyduck, my favorite from Gen 1, I knew it was going to blow Pokemon out of the backlash that it has been in for the past 2 years. Nowhere near beating it yet." First off, 2 years, add that by 18, my boy. However, I definitely agree. While the trailers were definitely rough, jumping into the game for yourself for the first time and seeing all these Pokemon moving around and having little lives and thoughts and things of their own really changed things. You get to a certain point in the game and a little flip switches for you and you're like, oh yeah, this game is legitimately built different. Hey man, I'm super happy that Baneri is getting the shine that it deserves. I literally enjoy Lopunny so much now. It is not a joke. Lopunny is so sick. Moving along here, we got a meaty one from Amora Pond who says, "I haven't finished yet, up to the last Lord Pokemon. But I'm not gonna lie, when I first got to Aspiration Hill, I cried. It has been such a wonderful experience. I've already found like 3 shiny Pokemon just playing through, 2 of them being the almighty Shinx. Completing the Pokédex feels so engaging, especially with the variety of tasks they get you to do to complete it. Almost every Pokemon feels unique in that way. I, like many, have had my hopes and expectations just lowered with every mainline release, but Legends Arceus, while not perfect, is a great step in the right direction. It's given me hope again that my favorite series can actually be good. I'm literally recommending this game to anybody, even non-Pokemon fans. I just want it to do well so Game Freak will make more games like this in the future." I have a good feeling that you speak for a lot of people in this specific situation. There's a friend of mine that hasn't played Pokemon in well over a decade now because they believe that the series should be a lot farther along by now, so they've waited for a good time to hop back in. This is the game right here that I recommended to them because I feel like this has a very good chance of meeting those expectations that they've had of Pokemon for so long now. As a Pokemon fan, you can definitely see that this game is a step above the rest in so many ways, it's not even funny. However, I can't really speak much for people on the outside when it comes to Pokemon Legends. I'm gonna say this again in my review soon, but I'm gonna say it here as well. As Pokemon fans, we constantly compare Pokemon games to other Pokemon games. People who are not Pokemon fans compare Pokemon games to other big AAA titles. They'll play the crap out of hardcore generic AAA titles like God of War and then look at Pokemon and be like, what the hell happened here anyway? And probably not even bother to give it the time of day because it either looks too simple or it looks debatably ugly or yada yada yada. And hey, I fully believe that that's fair, especially if money is involved. You are completely entitled to your own opinion on certain things. Whether or not you want to buy it is completely up to you. However, I think that this is a very good start, especially if it can get a lot of new Pokemon fans, because if we can stay on this little ride right here and just keep going and gathering people along the way, new and old, I think we're in for a very tight ship. I really do. So non-Pokemon fans, I understand. However, if you could just give 3 to 5 minutes for that little nerd to explain to you why this game is good, I think you're in for a treat. Also, congrats on 2 almighty shinies. I actually managed to snag one myself. I'm gonna put the clip up on Twitter. And that was just from the review footage, bro. I just messed around for 3 minutes and got one. God! Anyway, moving along, we're gonna move on next to Dante's Infernape, who says, "I'm enjoying it so far. Like someone said, I'm trying to fill the Pokédex completely, but it is a little grindy. I will say it makes it a lot more challenging to level up a squad, which I don't mind. I feel like when I get to Cleaver, it's gonna get wild. Someone in the comments brought up the graphics, which I agree aren't up to today's standards, i.e. the wild Pokemon in the backgrounds moving at 5 frames per second. From my first impressions, it's a solid game so far and very chill, which I guess negates the grindy part of the Pokédex. P.S. How in the hell you beat this so fast? Lol. Well, to put it simply, big fella, I have a huge issue with games that I enjoy a lot. If I enjoy it to a certain extent, I will not get off until I am done or satisfied with my playthrough. Breaks were minimal and I would only leave the game if I absolutely had to. And thankfully I'm a PokeTuber, so I had a very valid excuse to play through the game as fast as I did. But other than that, regarding the graphics, yeah, everybody is pretty much right. They are definitely not up to today's standards. Not that graphics are everything, because obviously we played games that looked like absolute dog doo-doo back in the day and it wasn't a problem before, but games today don't really have an excuse to look like this. I'll go more in depth about it later, but I will say this, I'm glad that at the very least, if there was something to be sacrificed for the sake of the gameplay, that it was the graphics. Graphics have never been and will never be the be-all end-all for me. So, even if the game looks like complete crap, if it's fun as hell, I'm in there, bro. But I will say, those Pokemon that move at 5 frames in the background, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Moving along here, and yet again, I apologize for if I mess up your name, but I'm gonna do my best. We have Gui Cavalcanti, who says, Legends is definitely my favorite Pokemon game, bar Gen 3, which were my first Pokemon games. I'm having fun with the research tasks, quests, and just seeing all these Pokemon wandering around in their natural habitats. I caught myself forgetting that I had story missions because the side content was so enjoyable. I also think the new battling and catching systems were a breath of fresh air, and I can't really see us going back to a traditional game from here. Yeah man, a very common thing that I've seen from a lot of people playing this game is the very similar fact that it's so easy to just get lost and do all of the side quests and all of the extra side content like the research tasks for the Pokédex and things like that. One of the few things that I've learned from my second playthrough is actually the fact that realistically the game can be finished in just a couple of hours if you really wanted to do so. All of that extra game time comes from getting distracted. I have so much gameplay of me just doing the story and then accidentally running off and doing something else for so long that I forget that I'm recording half the time. So I have a lot of unnecessary extra gameplay that I probably won't even use, but we'll see what happens. I can probably use a lot of it for this video right here. And don't even get me started on the catching and battling systems. They are so seamless. If we go back, I'm going to sock somebody at Game Freak in the throat. Please don't take us back. I'm begging you. I'm gonna beg you like 4 other times past this, but please don't do it. But yeah, if you're like homie here and you fully believe that this is probably your favorite Pokemon game of all time, I wouldn't put it past you. This is definitely in the top 3 for me. But like I said, I have a lot of feelings and things to sort out for the review, so by the time that comes around, feelings may change. We'll see what happens. Up next, we have the homie Christian Thompson, who says, Got it yesterday and have been hooked on it when I'm not at work. It's astounding how fun the gameplay loop of this game is. Sneaking up on Pokemon and catching them, the terror you feel when an alpha chases you down, and the great feeling of using the ride Pokemon in the overworld. There's so much to say about this game, but man, it's just fun. Only real critique I have is that the graphics aren't that great. Those textures are super muddy and gross looking. But if I'm still having this much fun, it just goes to show how graphics aren't everything. I just still wish they were better. Yeah man, I couldn't agree more. We're living in an era now where Pokemon actually hunt you for a change, and I could not ask for better. Having such an immediate shift from just running around not having to worry about anything to actually having to think about your approach to a Pokemon changes the game so much, it's not even funny. Don't even get me started on them alphas, bro. They are genuinely terrifying. I haven't felt a fear like that since when I first booted up Breath of the Wild and ran into a Guardian for the first time. Absolutely awful. I love it. Pokemon has truly evolved into a horror game at this point, and if it doesn't stay there, I'ma sue. I swear to God, I'ma sue. And also, I agree, being able to ride around on Pokemon is like a dream come true. I would prefer it if I could use my own Pokemon to fly around, but I get what they were doing. They gotta advertise these new kids, so I get it. These Pokemon are cool anyway, so why not? Hisui and Braviary? Mwah, fire. Weirdeer? Mwah, fire. Basculegion? Oh my goodness, godsend. Keep up that. Keep up that. And finally, for the sake of not getting too repetitive, we're gonna go ahead and end things off here with Cheese Stack, who says, "This is the best Pokemon game. I genuinely love this game. There is obviously room for improvement, but I'm excited to see what Game Freak is doing next. Of all the games that we've received in the past couple of years regarding Pokemon, I think it is more than valid to believe that this is the best of the series. I do not blame you, and I do not doubt it." Long story short, if this is the future of Pokemon, then we have a lot to look forward to because the potential here is absolutely immaculate. If we could go forward with just this right here and just build upon this new formula that you guys have come up with, we're in for a good time. And it's so simple. It really is that simple. It goes to show a lot of things when it comes to the Pokemon series, of games of course, but we're going to talk about that in the next video, so stay tuned for that. So I think that just about does it for everything in this video here. If I had to sum it up to say if this game has lived up to the hype, yes, without a shred of doubt. Looking through every single one of the comments and reading everything that you guys had to say, I noticed one thing, one very crucial thing. The fact that everyone said that this game is either great or the best of the Pokemon series. Not one no whatsoever, even from the ones that I didn't read. Of all the times for Game Freak to pay attention, it's now. You guys have to understand exactly what this game has done for us and what it can do for us and you guys. Please keep an eye on what is happening with this game, because if you do and you truly decide to capitalize on it in the right way, you are going to have money bags. I promise you, it is that simple. But I digress. This game has well over exceeded the hype and people are still talking about it well over a week later. That is very good. Very good for a long-running game series. That is awesome, and I look forward to seeing what everybody has to say about it in the weeks to come. But for now, I gotta get back to work on the review, and I also have another very important video that I think you guys are gonna want to see after this one, and possibly even after that one, but we'll see what happens. Point is, keep an eye out. I've got a lot for you guys these upcoming weeks, so make sure to stay tuned. But with that, I'm passing the mic on to you guys. For you guys that didn't get to say what you wanted to say, what do you think? Did it live up to the hype? Did it go under the hype? Did it please you? Did it disappoint you? Let me know everything in the comment section below, because I am down there with y'all at all times. Please never doubt that. But with that, I'm gonna get the hell up out of here because I got things to take care of. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this. And with that, I'm gonna get up out. Thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!